The Kansas and Oklahoma Railroad has come to a screeching halt. The crew, out in the cold, scratching their heads and trying to figure out why. The day's run started much like any other, leaving Hutchinson in the mid-morning. I caught up with the train at Elmer, a ghost town about 10 miles to the south of Hutchinson. This is the daily train from Hutchinson to Wichita, bringing in traffic from the western K&O system for interchange. It's a leisurely chase along parallel State Highway 96 to Yoder. This is the first train to run on the Hutchinson sub since a winter storm shut down the railroad 4 days earlier. A high rail truck the previous day helped clear the road crossings of some of the biggest slush piles from the plows. They're not quite deep enough for any spectacular drift busting. Today's train is carrying loaded grain cars with empty tanks and rock hoppers. 61 cars in total, 26 of them loaded. Power for today's train is two of the usual suspects, numbers 4245 and 4246. Both locomotives came from the Southern Pacific, with 4246 still evading the paint booth, at least for now. Trains on the Hutchinson sub move along at a leisurely 25 miles per hour. It's easy chasing with K96 running parallel to the track until Mount Hope. Between Mount Hope and Wichita, it's a little tougher to leapfrog the train without a directly parallel highway, but some of the county roads out here are paved with a good speed limit. There is a speed restriction through the curve at Andale, so the train's pace eases back as it approaches town. The next town ahead is Colwich. Snow is a little deeper here, but still not quite enough to really put the locomotive's snowplow to work. Colwich is home to an industrial park and an ethanol plant that generate a fair amount of traffic for the K&O. Our train has no work to do here today, so they keep on rolling. Past Colwich, the scenery quickly switches from rural to suburban as the line enters the Wichita Metro. At the same time, track speeds reduce to 10 miles per hour. It was about here that the problems started. Just after the train passed me, the end-of-train device reported falling pressure in the brake line. This forced an emergency stop, which I did not catch on camera because I was too busy repositioning. The usual suspect of a defect like this is a loose or disconnected air hose between one of the rail cars. That requires the conductor to climb down and walk the train to check each connection. With 61 cars in this consist, that's a mile-long hike through the snow. After a half hour, no dice. No leaks in the train line. That points the finger at the air supply on the locomotives, and that's a serious problem. You can't run trains without brakes. A failed compressor could render the train inoperable. At least the breakdown happened close to home base for the railroad, so help arrives in short order. Extra crews come out in company trucks, and relief power is called up from the yard, a matching pair of GP40s numbered 4034 and 4035. The relief engines are instructed to sit tight and wait. Some of you might have some idea of why. There's 2 locomotives on our train today, therefore 2 compressors. It's pretty unlikely that both of them would have failed at the same time, right? It took another hour before they finally found the issue. Any guesses what it was? How about an ice cube? Compressed air cools as it expands, so condensation is a constant problem inside of air systems. Oh man, that's probably not good. Usually, a spitter valve would remove moisture from the air system on a locomotive. But for whatever reason, probably something to do with being parked for the weekend in temperatures near zero, ice was still able to build up inside of the brake pipe. A piece of this dislodged and jammed the air line. After pumping some antifreeze through the system to clear the blockage, we're back underway. The relief power heads back first, and here's something you don't see every day. 2 trains at once, following each other in line of sight. This is the slowest section of the Hutchinson sub, where speed restrictions bring trains down to 5 miles per hour over the old Missouri Pacific era jointed rail. There's also a lot of fun old relics in the block of covered hoppers on this train, patched out, grimy and faded, and still showing roots of long bygone railroads like the Chicago Northwestern, Rio Grande, and plenty of old agricultural companies. From here, these cars will be interchanged to Union Pacific and sister Watco carrier South Kansas and Oklahoma.